Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bear Pen. This is our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Blood on the Bayou, set in the awesome city of New Orleans. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. To my own mother, it was yesterday, because she lives in New Zealand. So, but for those of you in different time zones, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Today, I want to give a very special thank you to tabletopaudio.com. They're not a sponsor, but I managed to have a discussion with them, and we will be able to use some of their music in our streams and on YouTube. So when the link goes up to uh, the YouTube pod eventually for this episode, you will see that tabletopaudio.com is linked there. But if you guys are running any RPGs for your friends via Zoom during these pandemic times, it's a great thing to use. You can kind of broadcast what you're using to your players, the music and sounds that you're listening to your players, and they'll be able to hear it, which is pretty dang awesome. Pretty dang awesome. All right, so without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our players. And today, how about we start with Sakura?
Hello, I am Cassidy. I'm playing Sakura, and I'm very excited.
All right, excellent. And next up is Elijah.
Hi, I'm Ari. I'll be playing Elijah, who is definitely not having a fun time in the swamp.
I can't imagine why. Kenny Hartsmith.
Hello, my name is Kenny. I'll see y'all shortly.
Indeed, indeed. Next up, we have our thin blood scientist, Quinn Hamish.
Hi, I'll be playing Quinn, the thin blood former DARPA scientist who's stumbling his way through the vampire world trying to not die again.
Valid concerns, as always. Next up, our soon-to-be primogen, Andre.
Hi, I'm Alex Hillman, and I'll be playing Andre Bassett, who is the completely above board Ventru, soon to be Primogen, who is taking care of some stuff and everything's fine. Nothing to worry about.
For sure. And last but not least, our fantastic boy, Sora.
Hi, I'm Kira858, and today I'm playing Sora, the sweet bean cative, quote unquote, also known as Salubri, but nobody knows that. Yeah, safe to say I am not enjoying the swap either. I would prefer to be drawing back in my room, but I got dragged out into this crazy madness, so here I am, one of the only ones left, non-paralyzed. Wish me luck.
And for those of you who are unaware, Kira has his own Twitch channel here on Twitch as well. It's really awesome. Kira is an amazing artist and also is hosting a whole bunch of RPGs too, and I'm in one of them, which is a heck of a lot of fun. So make sure to check out Kira858 on Twitch. There you can watch It's Our World, which Zach DMs for, and there is also Rivenwood Academy, which our friend Aaron DMs for, and a whole bunch of really awesome drawing. Kira also has his own comic book company, which is pretty dope. So look forward to more coming up there as well. I happen to have bots working now, which is great. So not too many, but some bots. So if you guys are interested in joining our Discord community, we have a number of happy people that will quite happily welcome you there. You can discuss episodes and talk about what you're playing. If you are wanting to start a board game and you're looking for players, you're welcome to post that up in there. Share your socials on there. It's a good time. So come join the honeypot. The link should be up there in the Discord. All right, so we are going to go ahead and move over to our intro. We'll see you in just a minute. All right, everybody, welcome back, and let's dive in, shall we? Where we last left our coterie, they had made their way into the bayou, about 2 hours away from the main city of New Orleans, and they had a potential almost falling off the boat episode, but it turned out all right, and made their way to an abandoned old plantation manor, which has been mostly swallowed up by the swamp. Upon coming inside, they were summarily trapped, more or less, inside their own minds, all except for two of our friends, which would be Sora and Kenny. In just a moment of being trapped in there, a voice rang out amongst the house and the grounds, which said, "Enough! That is not how we treat our guests." And that is where we ended our last session. So, as you will see, Michaela is not with us today. She has early Mother's Day plans, so enjoy, Michaela. Enjoy the vibe. This is where we begin our story this evening. For those of you that were trapped inside their minds, running through endless hallways, or in some cases, sitting down and waiting, you find that the illusion breaks, and you are inside the house. Kenny is with Michaela and Sakura, and the rest of you went through the side, sort of sunken-in porch entrance with Andre and Quinn and Elijah and Kira. As you all come to your senses, and Kenny and Kira have heard this voice, what would you like to do?
Would Sora notice that the others have started to regain their senses? Or does it still seem like they're frozen?
I would say you would notice that the others have begun to stir and move a bit. I imagine the experience is quite disconcerting, as you are now no longer in a hallway with lots and lots of doorways to each side, and each doorway leads to the same hallway.
Elijah's gonna
Yeah.
snarl, daunt straight up.
Ooh. Well, okay, well, you're back. You're back. Okay. Where are we?
Who in the absolute motherfucking hell did this? Someone's gonna die. I swear to Christ, somebody's gonna die.
Andre's
gotta
just
look-
kind of looking around the room, seeing what he can notice now that he's back to his senses.
All right, Andre, you can make a wits and awareness roll for me.
You all were stuck. You all kind of like was frozen in place. And I'm not sure who did it. It was just some lady with creepy voices.
I actually had to remember my hunger dice. It's not very often that Andre has any hunger on him. 4 successes.
4 successes. So what you notice around you is that there doesn't seem to be any extra movement or anything along those lines, but you do hear that there are footsteps which are now making their way down a set of stairs, and they are purposefully loud, and they are sort of making their way towards that porch entrance where you guys had come in.
Do the two groups know where the other group is?
You were within the hearing distance of each other, but because the house, there are a number of, rotten walls and such like that, so there are gaps in the house. So you were within hearing distance of each other. The staircase, which sort of heads up, which would have gone to the front door, is sort of in the middle of where you guys are, because you were on. Some of you had come in through the one side with where the cellar door was, and the others had come through on the, I guess it would be the right side of the house. I'm trying to adjust a 3D map in my mind here now to make it make sense. Let's just call it the right side of the house where the sunken porch was. So you are sort of on opposite sides of the house, but all on the first floor. So you would hear each other.
Andre's just going to kind of calmly turn and face in the direction that the sound is coming from, expectantly waiting.
All right. You see that it
Can the
is-
settler group start heading over to the porch group?
Of course. The groups end up sort of meeting, but before you do, when Sakura and if Kenny and Michaela are joining, head towards where the other group are, sort of the side, like parlor type room. You would pass where the stairs leading up are, and on the stairs are one of the women which you had seen before, but she is purposefully walking slowly, and her head is kind of a little bit bowed down, and she has a look on her face of chagrin. It's kind of like, I don't like being told what to do, but okay. And she
Kenny would
notices,
actually like to follow them before meeting up with the other group.
follow the woman.
Mhm.
She is coming down the stairs, so you would. She is coming towards where Andre and them would be. So you would actually see her coming down the stairs before meeting up with the rest of the group.
Where did the voice seem like it was coming from?
The voice seemed like it was coming from upstairs, but this woman does notice you there, and she puts her head down and says, "My apologies. Daddy didn't like our little games with y'all. Where are the rest of your friends?"
Do I hear the conversation
You do.
kicking off?
Yes.
I'll go ahead and start walking casually over to where they're talking at. Good evening. That was admittedly a most impressive parlor trick.
Well, we do try, Patrice and I. We do our best.
Parlor trick. I get it. It's funny because the parlor and it was a trick.
Nod slightly towards.
Daddy and some others are waiting for you upstairs, if you would follow me. Michaela, sorry, not Michaela, Sakura, you still have Saints the Encina?
I believe I do, yes.
All right. You notice. Oh, roll it again for me. Roll it again for me.
Yep. Five.
5 successes. Interesting. So, what you notice is that there is kind of a disturbance in the air around this woman's neck. You can't physically see anything there, but it's like almost like you would imagine a heat haze off the road. So it's not an aura you can pick up on. You can't pick up that it's like any forms of magic that you might know or anything like that, but there's a disturbance there that you can see there's something there. You don't know what it is. You can see that you can't see that there's something going on there. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Are you all going to make your way upstairs?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
I will follow.
He's at the back of the pack. Just
Oh, you're at the
crumbling
back?
under his breath. He's like, if I'm up
Oh.
front, I'm gonna say something, and this is gonna go sideways, and I'm just.
Well, I'm definitely towards the back as well. But now that Lagatha is back to normal, he's going to stay with his pup, his dog, his guard dog, and make his way up.
That's completely understandable. You all begin making your way up the stairs, and a number of them are rotten, moldy here on the ground floor, so you have to step rather carefully. And the pretense of needing to make sound or make actual footfalls on the step that the woman was giving off earlier has disappeared. So there's absolutely no sound when she steps on a step. And occasionally you see that she doesn't even step on steps; she sort of floats through them. The woman leads you up further onto a landing, and the further up that you get from the ground floor, the better off the condition of the house is up here, as if the heart of the house has withstood much of the damp and much of the mold. It's still really ruined and in a very old state, but you can tell that it's in a better condition, and you're not as likely to fall through the floorboards when you get up here because it's not as damp as what it will be in some other places. She leads you down another hallway and into what appears to be a large study room. And she opens the door, and what you see before you is a room that has been set up with sort of expensive but old, worn and frail looking carpeting that is on the floor. There is a very old, quite large raised leather chair that is in one corner, that is near the back wall. There are various paraphernalia and I would say sigils that seem to be drawn around the area with different forms of chalk and paint. There are some skulls, there are small statues of various figures. So what you can do is you enter the room, if you would like, whoever would like to is welcome to make either a wits and occult or intelligence and occult roll for me before I describe the other people.
Does my Auspex do anything here? My sense the unseen?
With those 5 successes carried over, a lot of these sigils and a lot of the things in this room are giving off that same, that you know something's there, but you can't see it.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Wits or into occult is the same pool.
Okay. One
One.
success for Quinn, 1 for Sandra,
3 for Andre.
3 for Andre,
3 for myself.
3 for Sora. All right. I will say that Sora and Andre, the best that you can make out from this is that this is definitely a form of ritualized magic of some sort that is occurring in this place, but it is not blood sorcery. Kenny, on the other hand, even though it's different, the recognition of some of the way that some patterns are drawn and that scent that you had smelled earlier downstairs, which you took as a heavy scent of oblivion, really floods this room more than anything else. It is concentrated and very strong in this area. So whatever is going on here is very heavily oblivion based. You would judge that a lot of what you are seeing with the statues and the sigils drawn on chalk and everything, it you would put it down to being some form of necromancy. I would also say all three of you, Sora and Andrea and Kenny, you would also recognize that some of these statues that are on altars look at first glance to be some form of Catholic saints, but when you look a little bit closer, you can tell that they are ever so slightly different. Like maybe the book that they are holding is in a different hand, and the faces are ever so slightly different.
Standing next to Andre,
Mhm.
I will just whisper to him that there's something not there on everything, like distinctly not there.
Andre won't even make any movement. He simply doesn't actually acknowledge technically.
You the most striking thing, once you have taken in this room in the brief span that your preternatural eyesight has allowed you to quickly take in the various aspects from the room, is the figure that is seated on the rather imposing old leather a chair. It's not like a sofa. It's old, well carved wood and leather back and leather. It's quite large. I would go ahead and call it like a smoking chair if you wanted to, that you would find in an old study. The figure that is seated there seems to be little more than a an oozing, fleshy, barely flesh covered skeleton, very sunken eyes, prominent fangs. He is wearing quite a large a top hat which has a feather in it. He has a very old, ripped at the edges, I would say, duster. It looks as if it was a sort of cloth duster at some point. He has a belt around his waist, which seems to have small skulls attached to this belt, which they mm, they're no more than I would say the size of like a rat's head or some such, but there are various ones, and he has his hands resting on the leather armrest, and next to him is the taller of the two women that you had seen before, um, who the woman that you had now who had led you up here was the shorter one with the blonde hair, who mentioned that the woman next to her, next to the man seated, was named Patrice. But the man goes ahead and says, "I'm sorry my daughters gave you so much trouble. And what brings y'all to come see the bear on this evening?"
It is a distinct privilege to make your acquaintance, Baron. My name is Andre Bassett, and I am here on behalf of the newly anointed Prince of New Orleans. The reason for this visit is 100% cordial. The new prince has a very, shall we say, liberal outlook as it comes to the political situations we find ourselves in these growingly tumultuous nights. We would be humbly honored if you would be willing to make your presence felt in the Elysium of the prince.
The man lets out a bit of a laugh that sounds very much gurgling and rumbling at certain points and wheezing, because it's very difficult for sound to come out of what remains of the flesh that is in his body. I heard the witch were back in New Orleans. She want to see the old Baron now. Tell me why she want to see little old me. What can I do for her?
Well, as I mentioned, our new prince has a very open outlook on how business should be conducted within New Orleans. Allegiances are being forged, valuable allegiances, unlikely allegiances. I can assure you this isn't necessarily a direct question to your claim of domain. In fact, numerous other anarchs have already made their presence felt within the court. This strikes me as a unique opportunity, one that I've sought to capitalize on myself.
A question. Who among you here have heightened senses?
I do.
I do.
Okay. All right. So, as Andre is speaking to the Baron, Sora and Cassidy, you're slightly better hearing than everyone else, just by default. It does pick up the sound of some other footsteps coming down the hallway and leading towards the doorway where you are.
I would, because I'm next to Elijah and my dog Lagatha.
Mhm.
So I will whisper to Elijah, like, so what's coming? I can hear them.
I was in the front by Andre, but I will just consciously activate it to see if I could hear them doing anything else, saying anything.
It doesn't sound as if anyone is saying anything at the moment, and it's not like somebody's making an effort to be stealthy or like they're rushing, but you can pick up that there's definitely two sets of footfalls, and they seem quite heavy. And it doesn't take very long before two figures do enter into the room. They are. You would all hear this as they enter the room, because the footfalls come quite closer. The people that enter the room, they seem to be two quite large men. They are dressed in, I would say, very functional, if slightly tattered clothing. Sakura, with your heightened senses now, like activated, you can hear that they both have heartbeats, and their heartbeats are distinctly faster than you would pick up from humans. They come in on the side, and as all of you sort of turn to look, the Baron says, "Don't be worried now. These are just my boys, John Boy, Jupiter. Say hello to our guests." The one man, who is probably around 6'6", sort of nods his head and comes to stand to one side of the room. The other one, who is not quite as large, he's about 6 foot, but still fairly broad-shouldered and muscly. He sort of says, "Hello, nice to meet y'all. Daddy said we need to come around and see some people. I think I recognize that one, though, with the pink hair from the boat earlier. Isn't that right, John Boy?" And John Boy just says, "Mm-hmm.
Apologies. I was just admiring the two of you. You looked lovely.
Well, now, not every day I get a compliment like that now. And the the Baron says, Jupiter, hush now. We in a conversation. Apologies, Mr. Andre. My boys get rambunctious.
Absolutely understood. They seem like good boys.
Hmm. Now, you mentioned some alliances. The man thinks he knows what the witch can do for me. You see now, Lizelle, Patrice, and my boys. We've been having a few problems lately with some outsiders coming in looking for some of our territory. I don't expect you all to deal with them. We hold them at bay for now, but their man up in the city come round recently. Eyes the color of money. Which you know which one I'm talking about. You tell her to deliver our message. Me and my family want to meet with the man with the eyes the color of money. Then I come to her, Elysium.
Very good. I suspect that my own capable crew here should be able to acquiesce this request for you on behalf of our new prince.
At this point, I would like everyone to make an active check with some awareness for me, please. If you have heightened senses up, you are welcome to add that too.
All right, sounds good.
Do we have any idea who he's talking about?
The man with the eyes the color of money?
Yes.
Sakura, you can make a wits and streetwise. You can add a dice because there's a good chance you might have seen him before.
Or successes.
Or
Ray
success.
has 5.
3 successes.
I browsed my wits. The first check was a 4.
Okay. All right.
And that second check is a
There we go.
3.
So four for your wits and awareness, and 3 for the wits
Yeah.
and streetwise.
Yes.
So we'll get to the wits and awareness for everyone because it seems like everybody did pretty great for this, which is nice. And Sakura, you did pretty great for the wits and streetwise as well. There, you recall seeing a man at Elysium who you would describe as having eyes the color of money. They were that shade of green that you would see on a $1 bill. So you are not really aware of who he was per se, but you remember his face as he was relatively attractive. He had sort of like salt and pepper hair, a distinctive grin on his face most of the time. He's wearing a very well-tailored suit, and you did notice that he seemed to be walking with a cane for some reason, but he couldn't have been more than in his mid-40s. But you didn't know his name. You never got the chance to actually speak to him. As for the wits and awareness, as the Baron is speaking to you and saying he will acquiesce, you actually do see that both John Boy and Jupiter also turn and listen at the same time, and you can all hear in the distance the sound of one very loud, disturbing howling sound, a second, a third, and a fourth. And the Baron stands up and says, "Looks like we might have some company. I would suggest y'all get out of here. Me and the family can take care of this. Y'all should run."
Is there a way we can contact you if we complete your request?
Lizelle. And the blonde woman sort of like nods her head and she says, "I'm on it, Daddy, don't worry." And she says, "I'll follow you and let you know when Daddy needs to talk to you." And she sort of disappears and fades from view. So, what we're going to do now is essentially something which might involve combat, but we are going to use the 3 and out rule here. You are all on the second. Well, for me it would be the first floor. For you in America, it would be the second floor.
Oh,
The second floor of this manor house in the study room, and you can all hear rapidly approaching different howling sounds. You witness as John Boy and Jupiter, their forms begin to shift and change and grow to each about 8 or 9 feet tall. Their faces contort and elongate into wide jaws of what you would notice to be gator jaws, but they are standing quite erect, and they are bolting out the door, sort of smashing the door frame a bit as they go. What would you all like to do?
I'm going to get to a window and soaring leap out.
All right. So Kenny, you come towards the window, and you are you looking before you leap? You just going for it?
Going for it. Don't have time.
All right. So Kenny, you are running. You are the window that is in this room is still a little bit intact, but it is mostly broken. So there is a little bit of a sound of shattering glass as it sort of breaks into the ground, and you are soaring leap, and you hit the ground running, and you can actually see now that you're outside that there are at least 4 very large, hairy, humanoid, dog-shaped type creatures ranging between 7 to 10 feet that are running towards this house. What is everyone else doing while you're inside the house?
Andre's body is going to slightly twitch and convulse momentarily before he also quickly follows suit behind Kenny and hops out the window, landing down on the ground below with minimal effort.
Very good.
I will do the same using my grace and dexterity of catchphrase.
Without a problem, you're able to superhero land on the ground.
Quinn's going to activate Unseen Passage and Silence of Death before following his new protege.
All right. Very good. The Silence of Death, I believe, is or
It
this
is,
Unseen
yeah.
Passage free. They're both free as far as I remember. All right.
Well, Unseen Passage is a rouse check, but I
Okay.
get that one. So
Okay. And how about Elijah?
Elijah roused for fleetness and is probably going to try and go out the window as well.
All right. So, Elijah, do you have anything like Cat's Grace or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, so make a just to see how well you land. You can make a Dex and Athletics roll for me there.
With fleetness, can I add celerity?
Sure.
That just made this a whole lot of dice. 4 successes?
Yeah, you are able to maintain the. You have a little bit more of an impact than the others, but you don't fall over. You are able to land, get yourself up and running. Sora, how about yourself?
Ooh, unlike everybody else who has so many combat related disciplines, your boy is a sweet bean. This is going to be a rough ordeal. I'm going to have to do this the old fashioned way of trying to run out the house. I'm pretty sure that's going to take longer, but I mean, there's no way I can do like a ninja flip out of the window on the second
Okay.
floor.
Quinn, you were jumping out the window as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you also need to make the Dex and Athletics roll for me, please.
The death athletics roll. Okay.
The Dex and Athletics roll. Okay, Sora, you are trying to sprint as fast as you can out of the house. So you can also make me a Dex and Athletics.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You are
Actually, one of them. There's 2 10s, so I guess that's a.
Is any one of them on your blood dice?
I don't have a blood dice right now. I
Okay.
think that may. Yeah, because I didn't gain any hunger this morning. So, are you
Okay.
always at 1 hunger or?
You're always at 1 hunger.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well then, yeah. Then I guess one of them. We'll say one of them was on the blood dice.
Okay, so that makes it a what we call messy crit there. So you are so 1 2. So you said how many
Oh,
successes?
no.
3
I
first
gotta
of all. So it's
willpower that
1
one.
2 3. So that would make it 5 successes. 5 with the messy crit. So you jump out of the window and you sort of land almost on Elijah as Elijah has jumped out the window, but you kind of don't care. You sort of like shove him out of the way a little bit, and you're just booking and running.
Elijah briefly makes an eye contact with Kenny, like, your child just touched me. And keeps running.
He does not see you. No eye contact is made. He is booking it for the boat right now.
All right, Sora. How many successes did you say?
So originally I had 1.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I
Okay.
used willpower, and that put me up to 3.
All right, very good. So, Sora, you are booking it out of the entrance on the side there, where you sort of come through on the porch, and you see that there is quite a larger hole that has been made there at this point in time, and you see one of the weregators that has sort of burst through it is in the process of leaping towards one of these werewolves, and they are busy going at it. So you are all running towards the boat now, and you can see that one of these werewolves has sort of turned towards you, and they are running after your group, and they are very, very fast. The only one who is maybe fast enough or as fast as them right now is Elijah with your fleetness. So this will be the second of our 3 and out rule. So you're all running. Sora is relatively far behind compared to the rest of you. It seems that Jupiter and John Boy are engaged with 2 of the wolves. One of the wolves has sort of jumped up and seems to be scaling the building, and one of them is headed your way. What would you like to?
Okay. So I am in the back. Kind of expected that. I should have never been on this trip. He's sort of like, I knew I should have stayed to draw it. And he's going to try to use Pharaoh Whispers to like maybe call in like a bird to like get into like their eyes and kind of like dart at their eyes real quick to hopefully give a distraction so they can run.
Very good. Go ahead and roll that, please.
Okay.
While
give me 1 second.
Sora's in the process of that, Andre is actually going to fall back and allow himself to get positioned behind Sora. So between Sora and
wow.
the Garu.
Very good.
Packer is also planning to do something maybe stupid.
Apologies, 1 sec. I should have had. I'm not sure which one this was. This is.
Quinn, you're still sort of under the grips of that messy crit there, so you are also fairly far ahead. The only person who is further would be Elijah with their fleetness.
There you go.
Sure, the dogs can probably smell me, but they have to. I'm sure they could probably track me. I don't know what their
Okay, cool.
thing is.
Nah, I see.
I don't know how difficult
just-
it is for people to spot invisible, quiet things.
I'm going to arouse the blood because I think this is an important time to do so, just to be on the safe side. Okay, cool. I don't get hungrier. All right, so that boosts it up.
I mean, you can always have some dog. There's some dog meat nearby.
Well, I mean, the last case scenario, I have to ask Lackado, like, can you protect me, please? But I don't want it to come to that because I know it's pretty much a one-hit kill. I'm going to use another willpower for that one. Jesus Christ, come on, don't kill me on this time.
It's just a dog. What's the worst that could happen?
There we go. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 successes.
5 successes. All right, very nice. So with your 5 successes, you call out, and it takes a little bit of time, but you hear. So those of you who would be closer to Sora, it sounds as if Sora is making like nightbird calls, and it echoes out. It echoes out into the bayou, the night bayou, and you see after a short time, first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 of these I want to call them night jars, or they're kind of shrike, if I remember correctly. They start sort of like coming towards you, and then they are sort of dive bombing this guru, and it is swatting at them. That is sort of like trying to peck at its eyes, which gives you a little bit of extra time to make your run there. I'll let everyone go ahead and make a second dex and athletics check there. So the guru is a wee bit slowed down.
Thank you, buddies. Thank you. Okay. I'm presuming my dodging doesn't work for this, right? This is just straight up run.
This is run. This is run.
Yeah, okay.
This is run, bitch, get some help.
Exactly.
Fleetness still applies?
It does indeed.
Telling you,
Andre will be rousing as well.
There should be more
I got
dice from
roused
this.
too. Ooh, now I get hungry.
Andre will be rousing and spending a willpower on this roll.
Oh no. Rabbit the werewolf.
That's 10 with a crit.
All right, 10 with a crit.
3
Telling
successes,
you.
no crit.
There's a reason he's fast.
6 successes with a crit after all that investment.
3.
3.
Why are you doing
Kimmy
this to me?
is doing something different.
All right, what is Skinny doing?
Opening the cello case.
All right, nice.
I had to use willpower. I got 3.
Okay, so Kenny, you're opening up the cello case. What would you like to do with your cello?
Play some sweet jams.
I am rapid reflexing, aiming the sniper rifle.
Very good. Do you want to go ahead and I would say you have enough time. You have enough time in this round to go ahead and get your shot off, because the guru is distracted by the birds, even though there are honestly it's like one swipe, but it is distracted enough. The others are running.
I'm gonna take a picture for you so that I can show it to you after the session as evidence. That is 12 with a crit on a sniper rifle.
Damn. All right. This is normal
Normal
sort of,
ammunition.
okay. All right. So
Plus 4 damage.
okay. Yeah. So the shot leaves the rifle. Is it a silence kind of one or not?
Not this one. Nope.
Okay.
The handgun is silenced. The rifle is not.
Okay. So a loud rings out as Kenny shoots the guru, and it sort of stumbles back and falls over a bit, which is good because they in this form they get +3 on all of their physical attributes, and I also happen to roll 9 with crit for their chasing, but now it's taken a bit of a tumble. So y'all get to manage. You all manage to keep running, and Sora, you do manage to catch up with a little bit of the rest as you are going, and the guru is fairly far away from you now. It's beginning to right itself. If anyone was looking, you would see that the slug sort of does slowly push itself out of the chest of the guru. They don't heal that fast. It has taken damage, but you need more than just one sniper rifle. Yeah, that was real good to fully take him down. All right, as you guys are all running, sort of out of nowhere, there materializes Carlisle, and you can see he's in his shape, and he says, quickly, shifters, in the water as fast as we can get, and he is running towards the boat as well. Third session.
Okay. Alright. These dice is hating me today. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Mm.
9 with the crit. Keep running.
All right. Great.
Three with a messy crit to keep running.
All right. So Quinn, you are super focused on getting the fuck out of there.
7 messy.
7 messy. All right, very nice. You managed to get your guns and stuff back into your chiller case.
We're leaving the case.
You're leaving the case. You're just keeping the sniper rifle. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You are on your way.
So I roll willpower. I'm already low on willpower, and I still only got 2 successes on 7 dice.
All right, 2 successes on 7 dice. You guys are making your way to the to where the airboat is, and Carlisle gets on and he starts it up, and he's waiting for you guys to sort of jump on it. And Sora is a bit far behind, and you do see that the guru has sort of righted itself, and it is running up to you, and it is very, very close to you, Sora. It is going to take a swipe at you unless there's something somebody would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not
Andre
run this turn.
And Andre only had 3 successes, so I'm going to use the 1 success that I had over Sora to keep myself positioned between Sora and the Garu.
Okay.
I did not run.
You did not run? Okay.
No, because I have been waiting to see if I have to do something.
All right. What are you going to do there?
Okay, so this is a small series of events. I
Okay.
am going to put up awe,
All right.
and then I am going to shout out to him to get his attention because I want him looking at me.
All right. So go ahead and roll the awe, and what is the... Let me double
It
check.
is composure plus intelligence for you.
Composure and intelligence. Excellent. 2. Okay, it's not that many dice. Interesting enough. Although I suppose it makes sense. Rage and all, we're not going to be the most composed people in the world.
Start screaming.
One, two. Okay, that's only 2 successes for the
3.
guru. 3 for you. Okay, all right. So you definitely have its attention.
Okay. Dominate.
All right. All right. Which specific dominate power are you going to be employing?
Compel.
All right. What is the
I'm
word?
going to shout halt.
Okay. The
His intelligence and resolve.
resolve is better. Resolve is better. All right. Intelligence and resolve.
I'm going to rouse my charisma. I fail.
It's gonna make itself get angrier here.
I'm also gonna spend a willpower.
All right. So the guru got 5 successes.
I got 4.
4. So
Is it too late to spend another willpower?
you can't spend another willpower.
I'm gonna do it.
You can't spend another willpower.
Oh, I can't.
No, you can't. You can't spend another willpower. So you say halt, and it's looking at you, and it cocks its head. No. It's not
Well,
attacking
shit.
you because it is under the effects of your awe, but it has slowed down and is sort of prowling around you. What else is anyone else doing?
Andre's going to try to shuffle Sora onto the boat and start calmly and confidently walking back towards the situation.
Like this way.
All right. Okay. So you have most of you are on the boat now, except for Sakura. Sakura, you have this guru under the effect of your awe for now. Andre is making his way downtown, walking fast, faces past. In his homebound.
Has Kenny made it to the boat yet?
Kenny, you've just about made it to the boat as well, yes.
Okay, then he is aiming his second warning shot.
All right. So, what are you gonna do, Andre?
So once I get up there, I'm going to assist in a little bit of what Sakura was trying to do here. I'm just going to go a little bit more powerful.
Okay.
So I'm going to use Mesmerize, actually.
Okay.
Dominate. And I succeeded my rouse. So that's going to be manipulation plus dominate versus intelligence and resolve.
So same dice for him again.
Six with a crit.
Only 3 this time.
And the directive that I gave was flee this place.
So you see it growls for a minute, and it's sort of like stuck between being fascinated with Sakura and your compulsion there, but eventually it turns and it starts to run back towards the house. In the distance, you hear various growls and various shouts, and Carlisle says, "Quickly, the boat!"
Run! I run! I run to the boat.
Yeah, Elijah's on the boat, but he's reaching his hand out to like start pulling people.
All right, you all get to the boat, and the fan starts up, and Carlisle is going as fast as it would allow, but these always as fast as it would allow. You are traveling through Bayou. Your hearts aren't pumping, but if they were, there would be various chemicals of adrenaline moving through your body. But shall we say, the memory of fear and adrenaline pumps through your body through unknown means. It
You
is.
guys
know-
deserve a fake.
I know we said 3 and out, so I'd like to just make a note for the storyteller.
Yes.
Kenny's eyes are going to coat in oblivion, and once they've gotten about 30 meters out into the water, if he sees any wolves, he's going to start trying to help the gators.
Okay. Very good.
Just for your notes on how that battle goes, he's at 4 hunger and very, very unhappy right now.
Mhm.
So he's going to keep shooting if he can.
All right. Where you are from here, because if you'll remember, it took you. This was a bit of a bit of a different battle. It was a bit of a walk to the house, if you remember. So you had to run for a fair distance. So you can no longer really see the house in the distance too much, but to make out the shapes of the fighting or anything would be a little bit difficult right now. But you are keeping your eyes out. You do have a scope, yeah. But does the scope have any form of like night vision or anything? But you've got Oblivion sight, right? That means you can see in the darkness.
I have night vision.
Yeah, you have night vision.
I'm leaving it to you. I don't want to take up a bunch of time, but
No,
just
you are in the boat and you have your sniper rifle and you're aiming. So let's see if you can see what's going on. You can make a wits and awareness, and you can add. Let's say for the scope, you can probably add 2 dice, and the Oblivion sight, because you can see in the darkness, you can add another dice. So add 3 dice to that.
Okay. Um, 4 successes.
4 successes. You make out the upper levels of the house, where you can see that there seem to be 2 shapes that have crashed through the wall and seem to be falling. One of them seems to be one of the Guru. The other one appears to be the Baron, but it looks as if there are tendrils of darkness wrapping around the Baron and sort of gripping onto this one Guru's head. And you are driving away in time enough to see that the head of this Guru is ripped clean off with what you would know to be the arms of Iron
Crocodile.
Understood. Understood.
Man. All right. Very good. So you are calming down on your way back.
Is everyone okay? Is no one hurt?
I'm fine. Kenny sits down, starts taking the parts out and cleaning it.
Elijah's just sitting in one of the chairs, and he's got his vape in his mouth. He just looks at Sora, just like,
I don't. See, this is why I deserve a vacation. I'm not good for this type of stuff.
Sakura looks a bit rocked, but she's frantically texting.
Who are you texting?
So, my general assumption is if I want information on someone who was at Elysium, my best bet would likely be Peaches, is my assumption.
Okay.
So she would be texting, like, as close to texting Peaches as she can.
Yeah,
Which I'm not sure Peaches has a phone.
he does. Yeah, Peaches does have a phone. I would say that at this stage, you definitely do have his contact information.
She's texting Peaches the description.
Um,
that she remembered.
all right. Signal is a bit spotty out here, but eventually, when you get some bars, it does come through. And Peaches says, well, you can't hear his voice, sir, but I'll still do it anyway.
Yes.
I seem to recall something like that man come into the city not too long ago now. He's a bit of a business tycoon involved in some kind of green energy now, tech mogul kind of man. I believe his name is Mr. Finn Aegis.
I would text back, appreciated. Will let you know if I need any further information. And then I will start Googling him.
All right. So,
While we're kind of traipsing back through the swamp here on the boat, Andre is generally kind of quiet and stoic. However, if anyone's actually paying close attention to him, he does seem to be muttering something under his breath. Specifically, he says, "The moon beasts, the ones who change. They are the oldest of all. Before my father, they roam the lands. Tarry not in the path of them. Avoid them. They are set upon us like wolves in the sheepfold."
on the side of Carlisle, next to where his chair is, you will suddenly see a blonde woman standing there, and she says, "Well, now, Daddy gonna be happy to know you all survived. I see you at your house now. I'm around, don't worry." And she waves and sort of disappears. And that seems like a real good place for us to take our break. All right. We hope you are
Okay.
enjoying the stream, everybody. Thank you very much for watching and following. Thank you to all those in chat. If you like what we are doing here, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe there on YouTube as well. I'll leave the link up to the channel there at the moment. The more subscriptions we get there, the closer we get to getting a custom URL. We're going to go ahead and take our break here, and we'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes, I imagine. All right. See you soon. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are the Bear Pen, and we are continuing our chapter 4 of our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Chronicle, Blood on the Bayou. Our players have just escaped the clutches of some invading Garou and are currently on the airboat and not too far out from the jetty that they had left from. Although the night is getting on a bit, it has been, let's say, roughly 6 hours since you left, so it is just past midnight, heading into like 1 a.m. All in all, not bad timing. Not bad timing. Actually, by now it'll be close to 1:30. I think it's around 1:30 in the morning. But you are all beginning to putter your way towards the dock there, and Carlisle pulls the boat up, jumps off, ties things, transitions back to his hidden shape with the hoodie there, and says, Mr. Andre,
Yes, Carlisle.
I know this wasn't in the deal, but Garou withstanding, is it possible for me to receive a little bit of payment of my own, aside from what you've left for Adam?
And what did you have in mind, Carlisle?
I don't know. Hazard pay, shall we say? Anything.
Do you prefer funds, favors, or something else?
Funds are good for me. I have rent to pay like anybody else.
I'll go ahead and reach inside, pull out his money clip, fan off a couple $100 bills, and hand them over.
Thank you.
Did Elijah hear this conversation?
You did, yeah.
He's gonna pull out another like $300, just hand it to him.
Oh, 2 months' rent. Very good. Well, shall we make our way back to your haven?
I think that would be prudent, yes.
Could I borrow one of them sun bags that we had brought along?
I believe Sakura had them.
Or just hand over her backpack, not looking up from her phone.
And he's gonna take one of them out, and he'll be like, "Thank you." And then he's gonna stuff the sniper rifle into it, wrap it a little bit so it looks like kind of a tubular sort of thing, and he'll just like carry it under one of his
So
arms.
look up for a second and say, "Do you just want to put it in the backpack?"
With all due respect, Miss Sakura, the way that volume works, I'm not certain that this rifle is really gonna fit into the backpack. The sun
But
bags
it's less-
themselves, however, are built to expand to hold a person.
It's less conspicuous sticking out of a backpack than if you're just carrying a big black bag.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure that you have ever seen in sniper rifle
Probably not.
outside of a backpack, because that's possibly one of the most conspicuous things I've ever heard of.
Fair enough. Back the phone.
just paint it pink. Somebody will think it's a toy.
The van is opened up, and you're all busy making your way back towards the Country Haven. As you are, well, as Carlisle is driving in the quiet, Kenny, you do get a message on your phone. It is from a specific number, which you have designated, and it says,
Okay.
it says, they'll have another meeting in 5 days.
Kenny will just text back, "Good. Need anything?" Question mark.
You get back, well, how about a release? It's probably not on the cards, is it?
No response.
Very good. Eventually, you all do make your way back to the Poetry Haven, and Carlisle opens the door and he says, "If you see Peaches, tell him I'm going on vacation."
Instant text. It's done.
After this, I'm going on vacation. I'm staying in my room forever.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I got to. I get chased like that. And you see him kind of like hugs Lagatha because he knows that was a close one.
Very good.
I will see all of you in a couple of hours, and then he'll go drop off his package in his room and head out into the night.
All right. Are you going hunting?
Absolutely, because I'm just chilling at 4 hunger right now. He's really worried that he might actually eat a person right now, because he might actually eat a person right now.
Well, let's see if you can get yourself some blood bags this evening, sir. Go ahead and roll it.
I would also like to ask Lagatha if she could bring over like a rabbit or something.
Sure. Go ahead and make that hunting roll. You can just assume that it's her doing the catching.
Yes. All right, cool.
Sakura knows that there are eyes at them, so she is texting Andre as opposed to saying anything because she knows that there are currently eyes on them. So she'll just send Andre a text saying, "Do we want to arrange the meeting, or do we want the prince to do it? Because I found the guy."
Andre will take a look at the text message and slide his phone back into his pocket, and after a moment go ahead and stand from his seat and believe I need a little bit of fresh air this evening. Sakura, would you care to join me?
Sure. Stand up, keep her phone in her hand because she's not one for putting it away.
Andre will offer his arm
She'll take it.
and head out on into the night.
Very good. And that was 5 successes for both of your hunting rolls. Very good. You do manage to get some blood bags there, Kenny, and Sora. You do like that does bring you back some nice tasty snacks. She manages to catch some possums this evening. Brings them back for you.
Perfect.
No, not the possums.
Who's your favorite possum? I know. So
Kenny, I would say with that roll, you probably get, say you managed to get 4 blood bags this evening.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If anyone needs me, I will be in my room drinking them all down.
Savagely devouring all 4. Ah!
All right. So, Andre and Sakura, you are taking a walk somewhere?
A little stroll around the French Quarter.
Okay. So Sakura, you catch the the odd ghosts every now and then, but you do not catch sight of the one who was introduced by the Baron as Lizelle. You don't see her as you are going for your walk around the French Quarter.
Okay. She will turn to Andre. All clear from what I can tell. Thank you for your assistance. You saved my butt.
That's what we're here for. So, you seem to have already tracked down our ward here.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that hard.
Fantastic. You never cease to astound me, Sakura. I think it would be in our best interest if we handled this ourselves.
That's what I thought, but wanted to check just in case maybe you wanted to hand it off and we didn't have to do more work.
Well, it would be nice to get out of a bit of busy work. I think in our current station, the leverage that we can manage from this would be greatly beneficial to all parties.
And I'll see if I can find him. Which,
Yes,
again, shouldn't take too long.
Let's arrange a little get together, shall we?
I'll see what I can do.
Splendid. And you have yourself a most lovely evening, Sakura. I have some
Not headed back with us?
I have some other matters that need tending.
I'll let them know.
And Andre will actually kind of just split off and cross a street and head off into the night.
Right. While the rest of you are at home and in your rooms, Elijah, you get a message on your phone too. The predictive text seems to have gotten a little haywire, but the number is, you can see the name, you can see the number. It is what appears to be a drunk text from Julian.
He's in the bathtub with his tablet up on like this little tray. He's just gonna be like, he's gonna reach over and FaceTime him.
Hey,
How much have you had to drink?
it's a little. I mean, it's been a rough day. What can I say? It's been a rough week. I mean,
Yeah, I feel that. Ironically, I feel that.
it's. Do you know? Do you know what it's like having to be a reporter these days? It's not. You look pretty.
Thank you. I feel you get the odd Twitter fake news
Mhm.
tweet every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, you want to come and have a glass? I think I have a bottle left.
Sure. Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, make it 10 because I don't want to fall asleep or anything. So
I mean, if you do, I'm just gonna dump some cold water on you.
yeah, you do that. I'll see you soon. And he puts the FaceTime down.
Trying to reach over for the towel.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Very good.
Taking the tablet up before he gets out of the bath because he doesn't want to drop it in again.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you would all like to achieve for the evening?
Yes. Once I get back, I'd like to check in with Sora before I begin my deep dive.
Oh, Sora is back in his room.
Well, I assumed.
Yeah. What I mean, and yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't really know. Go ahead.
She just go in. She's not the knocker.
You go ahead. If you go in, you kind of see her just he's not really drawing in his sketchbook. He's kind of like holding his sketchbook against his chest and kind of just like looking off into the distance. When he kind of like bursts over, he's like, "Oh, wait, don't do that. I had a rough day already."
But yeah, I was there.
Are you sure you're okay?
I was coming to ask you that.
Why do we have to? Yeah, why do we have to do that? We could have done. I mean, why do we do this? Why do? I don't understand.
I think that varies depending who you ask. But if you're asking me, what else is there to do?
Not get eaten by werewolves. I mean, like I feel like we get put ourselves in situations where it's just like why? Like why do we do all of this? Why do they
Because
want us
why
to do all
not?
this?
Because why not? It's fun. It's exciting. It's better than sitting around forever.
What? Wait. I'm confused. I am confused. So running away from Garu is more exciting than bringing up a paintbrush and just displaying
For
life.
me, for me, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Do you like bungee jumping?
That yeah, I should share that.
Oh yeah, that's my kind of figure. Okay, good to know. Good to. So if that's the case, it kind of makes sense. Well, thank you so much for helping me. It means a lot to me.
Like that was scary. I'll admit that was scary, but like we were here.
What about it? Like it was super close. I mean, they're so fast. I mean, what makes sense? They're on all four legs, but still, they're so fast.
Yeah, I was face to face, and it told me no. So like, yeah, that was real scary. But
oh yeah.
maybe yeah, no, we're okay now, and I mean, we got to do what we got to do.
Do we have to go back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we have a link. We're definitely being watched, 100%. No questions asked. There's someone in the house, but
wait, what? We're being watched.
She said she'll see us at the house. Are you not listening?
What? Oh, I didn't put two and two together.
I don't know if she's here yet, but like 100% there's gonna be someone in the house. So like that's why I've been on my phone more than usual, I should say.
I see. Well, I was just going to send a bird back, and if they needed anything, let them know, hey, everything's good to go. It would probably be much easier, but I guess it's
easier, yeah. More fun? I don't think so. No.
Scary.
Thank you.
Yeah, what also thanks for checking up on me. Out of curiosity, did you use any willpower during any of your checks?
Yes. I used quite a bit.
Is there never mind. I don't actually have that yet for this character. It's my other character. Never mind. My apologies. But you're not hurt or anything, right?
I'm not hurt. I didn't get touched.
Okay. So he's gonna look. He's like, well, hopefully, what I'm probably going to do is I'm gonna ask, maybe my Mawa to see if she can help out in the future, just so I can be able to defend myself a bit better. Because that was, she might have some advice.
If Andre hadn't stepped in and finished what I tried to start, I probably wouldn't be here. But I am, so we good.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. I mean, I was going to ask Lagatha to help, but then, but...
Oh, she's too good of a dog for that.
Yeah, and he kind of, like, gives Lagatha a huge hug for that, too. He's like, if you would have took him out, what did you, Lagatha? You would have been like, pew! And then off with their tails. Then they wouldn't be able to run anymore because their aerodynamics would be off.
Lagatha's happily nodding her head.
Pepper laughs and gives her a pet.
Well, thanks again. I'm going
to
reach out to my Wawa.
I got some work to do too.
Okay. Hey, bye. Thank you again.
Yeah. Sorry for not knocking, but I forget.
Before Elijah leaves, he's gonna like pop in to Sora's room and just kind of throw him a bag of art supplies and be like, I had extra.
And it's like and you can see like that's all it's like a pup. I mean, it just takes one small item for like the things to change his behavior. It's like a huge smile just spreads on his face. Like,
You're not
thank
staying in
you.
your room forever, though.
No,
Enjoy your time
that's
now.
the trade.
I'm going out.
He's not wrong. As I pop back to downstairs with my laptop, just not wrong. Not letting you stay in there.
Enjoy your art. I'm sending Sakura that video how to get a door off the hinges. Just saying.
I
If
already
I'm not
know.
here-
It's not hard.
I mean, it's like a threading tool. It's outside the box.
You use a power drill. It's not. You now know how to use a power drill? Like,
Do I look like the person who knows how to use a power drill?
do
Why
I?
are you doing
You
this to
hit the
me?
button.
I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, but
Not the one I have.
interesting. I'm going now. You be safe. You have fun painting. I've locked my bedroom door if somebody goes in there, so help me when I come back into this house. Bye.
You know I can. I won't, but I can.
Terrifying. What would you want in there?
I don't know yet.
What wouldn't you?
Don't touch.
I like
Any of
knowing
my-
that I can.
You can
I
touch
like
anything
you
in
knowing
there.
that I can.
You can touch anything in there, but my photographs. Those stay.
Oh, why would you say that? You know that's like asking.
Sakura. Don't
I
touch my
will.
photographs.
I will. I like knowing I can, and I like you knowing that I can. That is all.
Walk out the door.
While this whole exchange is happening, Quinn, you also receive a ding on your phone. It is an email. Will you open up the email?
Yeah.
All right.
What's the title? Is the title?
Yes, it is. The title of the email says it's a update. You recognize the email comes from your detective friend, whose name escapes me at this point in time. Either way, it's from.
Of course, I didn't write it down.
We had it at one stage, but his name escapes me at this point in time. But it's from your detective friend, and it says, "Evening, champ. Got a bit of an update for you. It seems your friend has been at it again." And he shows you a couple of newspaper clippings. Well, not clippings, articles, because we don't live like 30 years ago. He kind of shows you a couple of newspaper articles from St. Louis, Missouri, of crimes that fit the MO of your shall we say, killer.
Interesting. I'd like to bring this to the attention of my mentor. Got to lead a problem child. I might talk to Alex about them too, since Alex is looking to gain his seat of power and hunting down someone of this nature would probably prove useful for that.
I'm guessing you're not. This is just out loud thoughts,
thinking.
right? Yeah. Out loud thoughts. And he signs with the email with, "I'll let you know if anything else comes up," but so far, pretty sure he's in St. Louis at the moment.
Well, it's not here, so it's unfortunate.
All right. as you all are getting ready to get the day's sleep, Elijah finds himself at a fairly nice apartment. Door is opened. You can see Julian has a bottle in his hand. It's like,
You need better taste in wine.
I mean,
Yeah, It'll do. It'll do.
the door closes. Fade to sexy black. All right. So, all of you end up having a fairly decent sleep this evening. And you all wake up in the evening the following night. So, everyone can go ahead and make a new rouse check for me, please. All right.
Hunger 1
Hunger 1.
Okay.
because of fleetness, but he passed this rouse check.
Okay.
All
Very
my
good.
rouse checks.
I am up to hunger 3.
Hunger deuces.
Success for me.
So Sakura and Quinn, you're feeling a little bit hungry today.
That's why I got our chase at 3 or 4. 4? I think it's 4.
Both in game and in real life.
Very good. All right. As you all are awake for the evening for your various locations, how would you like to proceed?
So Sora's going to do 2 things. First, after the door just busts open, he's like, I need to get me a better door. So he's going to look online for like a bank protection based door, like one of those doors that you only way you can be able to slide through is when you have like the money exchange thing. You know how you how you have to put the wallet in and they turn the thing around and they take it out and you rotate it back in. He wants one of those, so he's gonna look online to see how is it available to pick something like that up, and and how much would that cost to do it. So that's the first goal. And then
Sure.
the second goal, go ahead.
Sure.
And then, the second goal is more getting his malware. Reach out to his malware.
The first goal is doable for sure. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but you can get it in about 10 days, 5 if you're willing to pay extra, they can rush it. But you know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. You can definitely get it done though.
Oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening. You just gonna hear suddenly you just gonna hear like construction noises in the room. He's like, what is happening up there? So that's the first one. The second one is he's trying to reach out to his malwa for guidance. So he's gonna send a text and say, "Hi, I got chased by big W's. I realize I need a lot of help. Can we continue our training?" Send text.
All right. You get a response back. Very shortly, she says, "What do you need, kid?"
He'll send a text back saying, I want to get stronger and stuff again because I was definitely the slowest person and I almost got all my friends killed and I don't like that, so I want to get stronger and faster so I can not be the weakest link.
She calls you.
Oh, he'll pick up the phone. Hello?
Hello, Sora.
Yeah, we got chased by four big W's, and then I was definitely the slowest out of everyone there. And then 2 of my friends had to come by and kind of risk themselves. And I'm glad that they did, but I also felt bad because I could definitely tell I was holding everyone up. And I know that you're really strong and you're really fast and stuff like that. So I was wondering if you can help me out. And so therefore, because I know they're going to keep I want to just stay in my room and they keep pulling me out of my room. So I was like, well, if they pulling me out of my room, I know I'm going to be a liability. So I was like, I got to make sure that I'm not a liability. Otherwise, or they could just leave me in my room. I got a bake door coming. They don't know about it. It's gonna be this big old metal door that you see like in Bake of America. But outside of that, like I still gotta make sure that I keep myself protected. So in case I go out with them, I don't slack everybody behind, and I can keep up with everyone.
We can definitely continue your training, Sora, but you know some of the risks, right?
Mm-hmm. I know.
All right. Well, and why don't you stop by? We can spend a couple of hours working on a few things.
Okay, when do you want me to come?
Around an hour would be good.
Okay, I'm on my way. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Right there.
I'll see you soon.
I see you soon. And then he'll hang up the phone. He says, "Raylock, I said we're going to see Camille. You ready to go? You haven't seen her in a while. Let's go." And then, yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he has a car, because this is the poorer one. Yeah, I don't think he has a car. What was my resources? I think it was like a 1.
Your resources are
Yeah, it was
2, I think, on your sheet. It looks like they're 2.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
double
Yeah, it
check.
was 2.
Yeah. So I mean, 2. If you feel like you've got a car, you've probably got a car. Resources 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll have that in there. We have a car. Nothing, of course, nothing fancy. Maybe like a. Yeah, I see him in like a Prius. He easily be driving a Prius.
Nothing fancy, just a Prius.
Yeah, it's just it's a little Prius, and he'll make his way over.
All right, very good. So you are heading towards Camille's for the evening, and for a couple of hours of training, and we will discuss that in a moment. Elijah, when you my goodness, when you awaken in the evening, Julian has left a little note on the bed for you, and he says, "I've got to head out of town for a few days. Something about murders in St. Louis. I need to head there for some reason, but you've got the run of the place as normal."
It's like, this is weird. Just kind of like trying to scoot to like lock the door, because I'm pretty sure he has a spare key, to like skitter back to the Haven, because he doesn't really like to stay when he's not there.
Yeah. All right. How about everyone else this evening?
I am placing a call to my good buddy, friend and companion, Andre Bastet.
All right.
Sounds like I'm taking a call.
Hello, Mr. Andre. I was curious if you happen to be available this evening.
I'm always inclined to make time for you, Mr. Hartsmith.
That's very kind of you. I figure I owe you a conversation about that book of yours, and I have for quite some time. It would be disrespectful for me to allow that to linger. And while we're at it, I noticed a thing or two that I thought it might be prudent to share with you.
Splendid. Well, why don't you meet me here at the communal haven? I should be there within about an hour and a half.
Understood. I'll see you then.
Hang up. And that, Andre is going to go ahead and indulge in the second form of hunting that he utilizes. To make sure that he doesn't get a lot of heat on the hospital ward specifically. The other place that he frequently goes, because it's an area of study for him, is to the morgue, specifically looking for a recently deceased corpse that would still have just enough vitality left in it to make a worthwhile meal out of.
Very good. Roll your hunting roll.
All right, we got 7 with a crit.
Easily enough, you manage to find the body of a young man that seems to have had a bit of an accident. The case of death, it's listed as death by drowning. You can see that he has the telltale marks of somebody who died from drowning on his body. Looks to be maybe in his mid-30s.
Rest well, child of Seth, as he sets the medical file down and sinks his teeth into the neck and drains every last ounce of life force and essence from the body.
Very good. And you can go ahead and slake that hunger. Slake that hunger.
At which point he'll then go ahead and he's going to swing back by the lab and unlock the locked drawer in his desk, and he's going to pull out let's see how many pages here. Quick. He is going to yank out 6 pages from the drawer and shuffle them into a manila envelope, place that inside of a briefcase, and then lock the briefcase and head to his vehicle and out to the haven.
Very good. Quinn, did you stay at your own haven, or were you at the Coterie Haven?
I would probably go back to my own haven, but also go do some looking to see if I can find some blood bags.
All right, go ahead and make your hunting roll there.
It's charisma and streetwise.
Okay.
Figure I have to butter some people up. So, oof, 1 success.
1 success. Do you wanna burn a willpower to reroll 3 dice?
Yeah, probably a good idea. 3 more successes actually.
3 more successes, so 4 total.
Yeah, with the willpower. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 is enough. 4 is what you need to hit, I believe, with what we put into like chase and everything. So
it's good because I have like 4 dice.
Yeah. So you are able to with 4 successes. I would say you can manage to get 3 blood bags this evening.
That's good. Get myself back down to hunger 1 and have a couple spares.
All right, very good. So the rest of you are waking up, and Kenny is downstairs, and he is having his own little drama at this point in time. It looks as if he has set up a little pirate ship, and he's made like little waves and stuff. And Ricky, yes, Ricky.
It took a second.
Yeah, Ricky, not Kenny.
And he had a very sudden change in behavior.
It's always the Y sound that trips me up at the end. It's Ricky is he set up like a little pirate ship, and you can see that there's waves going on. Another pirate ship is coming in, and they're busy shooting each other with cannons. And he's like picks up little people and moves them around every now and then using his gift.
Sakura has 2 things she needs to attend to quickly. First, she's gonna go to her apartment and call on a member of her herd, her social fan club, because she is at 3 hunger. and then she's gonna do her research and try and get a meeting with the man.
Yeah, with a herd, you don't need to roll for hunting because you have a herd. That's what the purpose for.
Yep.
How much are you taking?
2.
2 dots. All right. You're the member of your fan club is only too happy to spend some time with the Sakura Ami, and they end up leaving when they're done. You are going to try and do some research about Mr. Finn Aegis.
Indeed.
It
I
is
want to
not.
get a meeting.
It's not difficult to find information about him. He is a kind of corporate giant in the environmental tech sector. Lots of sort of experimental technologies, and but a lot of things which are really, really good with ocean cleanup projects, clean energy. He owns a company known as Eden Tech. There are various locations around the world. There is one in Tokyo. There is one in Los Angeles, and there are a couple in Europe. There is the newest location seems to be here in New Orleans itself. There's lots of information about their efforts towards like wildlife conservation. You can find the about page about him there, and there are newspaper articles, etc. He's very well known in his field. And you want to try and arrange a meeting.
Yes.
Okay. There are sort of like contact information and such about like, pursue a career with Eden Tech. Come view our facilities. But actually contacting him, Mr. Aegis himself, that might require something a bit different. Do you have, I forget, you said you have dots in influence or status? Let me double check.
I do believe influence. Let me check as well.
Sakura.
It seems likely.
Influence, fame. I have influence and fame.
Okay. Influence 2 dots. Okay. All right. So, how would you want to go about organizing a meeting with him?
His assistant mainly is because I would assume he has one.
He does. He does indeed have an assistant. All right. So, I'm going to say you can roll your. You can roll the 2 dots of influence, and we'll say charisma, because you're trying to speak to people to get hold of who might be this assistant there. And we're going to make it technology because you know people that know people that are in various sectors. So let's roll that to see if you're able to get hold of this assistant.
Because I want to stack this, does my fame help here at all?
Not in this particular case because they are
Okay.
different. They're different sort of veins, different worlds.
Had to try. Four.
You are sort of tweeting out that you are wanting to make a connection with Eden Tech because you have some upcoming programs that you want to do which feature environmentalism and different technologies and such. And one of your followers managed to say like, oh yeah, my cousin actually works at one of their branches. If you want, I could try and see if they can arrange like a meeting with one of their advisors there. And through this intricate web of different associations, you do manage to eventually get hold of a phone number for the assistant of Mr. Finn Aegis.
I will meet back at the Coterie Haven because I feel like that is a phone call better suited for it, not me.
All right. Mr. Quinn Hamish, before you head to the Coterie Haven, are there any interesting experiments you're doing this evening?
Nothing particular. I hadn't gotten a chance to sort of look for have a powwow with Alex yet or Andre about the future of those particular things.
Excellent.
I can't remember if Kenny had any interest in blood alchemy stuff, but I'm sure once we start to once we start breaking bad with the blood potions, I'm sure it'll become a little more interesting for the other people benefiting from it as well.
For sure. All right. So you're meeting up there at the Coterie Haven. Elijah, did you have anything that you wanted to take care of this evening? Are you heading back to the Coterie Haven, or are you kind of like, you know what? Maybe I need a night off.
No, he doesn't like staying in the apartment if Julian isn't there, so he's just like, I'm going back. He's probably stopping by the liquor store on his way back, coming in with just a little bit more of a spring and a good mood than he normally is in.
Very good. All right. So you've all arrived back at Coterie Haven. Andre and Alex, I would say your timing coincided to Andre and Alex. Andre and Kenny. It's looking at the chat boxes and like that's the name I want and that's the name I want. Andre and Kenny, you are able to for sure meet a little bit earlier than everyone else in the Coterie Haven.
Oh, so just to clarify, I remember I was actually going out.
You are
my
going
Wawa,
out to meet your Mola. Yes,
So it might be weird because Sora is actually not in his room for like a few times. But yeah, I'm out. I'm not actually there.
Sora is undergoing a bit of training this evening. We will come back to that in just a moment.
Evening, Mr. Hartsmith.
Good evening, Mr. Bastet. I noticed a couple of things when we were in the lovely accommodations of our friend the Baron yesterday evening that I was unaware of how to speak about amongst his present. I'll get to that in a moment. The other thing I want to make sure that you know is that either I have a meeting tomorrow or we all have a meeting tomorrow. The details of that are a bit amiss, and he will actually directly show Andre the text conversation that he had the other night with his Mala in order to set up that meeting.
Very good.
It surely can't hurt to know more people. As far as the Baron, I don't know if you happen to notice, but necromantic energies tended to be very plentiful in his area. I picked upon the scent of several things that were known to be or common in those types of rituals to people who are in the know. Strangely, when I was looking through my scope back towards the battle, I happened to notice that he had called upon the arms of Ahriman and seemed to have enough strength at this talent to tear the head off of one of the wolves that had attacked. Now, I'm no expert in Oblivion. My sire was far more talented, but I do remember a couple of things. And one of those things is that it is quite weird for someone to display such talent with necromancy and seemingly still be able to call upon such a potent power in those ways. Uh, I do
A
not
rare sight.
fully understand what this means. Sorry, but one, I do think it would be interesting, and two, it seems our Baron is quite powerful.
Indeed. I suspect elder blood courses through their undead veins. An interesting observation. That, as you said, that is a rarity, to say the least, for such a such a blend of talents.
Indeed.
This Baron might prove to be a much more interesting asset than I had originally anticipated. I can see why the prince is so interested.
He's a little bit weird, but sometimes it's the weird ones that are most talented. And he'll kind of gesture vaguely in the direction of Sora's room, even though he's not there.
Indeed. Well, we'll deal with those matters as they come. I'm sure they will begin to unfurl more as time progresses, and with better insight, we can make a much more informed decision on how to move forward. And of course, in regards to the meeting, I'd be more than happy to increase my connections amongst the local kindred. As for your other request, I thought it might be prudent to show you something. And he'll go ahead and take a seat in the main living room at one of the various chairs that we have about and set the briefcase down on the table in front of him. After all, seeing is so much more powerful than simply hearing. I'm sure you've encountered this over the course of your tenure, Father. As I mentioned before, you should feel a sense of reassurance in the beliefs that you hold so dear. It's a rarity to be able to experience things in the way that we kindred do. We have the benefit of members of our ilk lasting for centuries, millennia even. There are those among us walking to this day who were present during some profound moments throughout history. And he'll go ahead and pop the briefcase open on the table and reach in and pull out the envelope and close the briefcase and set the envelope down on top of it. I'm sure in your time of studies of the Bible, considering your current position, you may have either encountered or been told about pages in books dating back to the times when certain events were said to be happening. Potential genuine articles, shall we call them. At that, he'll go ahead and start actually opening up the manila envelope, and he slides out of it 6 cloth parchment pages. Very old, very brittle. And he spreads them out onto the table in front of you. This set of documents is something of a source of pride for me. Something that I was able to reclaim from my tumultuous beginnings. You see, these pages they are 2,500 years old. Now, I dare not claim that they are from a supposed first edition. These are certainly recreations. However, this is the story of the first times, the beginning days of our kind, as chronicled in a document known as the Book of Nod. Are you familiar with this document, Mr. Hartsmith?
I'm going to leave that one on Adrian. What do you think?
How long did you
What
spend with your sire again?
About 5 years.
Roll 2d10s. Give me the percentage.
Okay. 50. On the nose.
50. It was mentioned, but not in enough detail to. It was mentioned as being a study of interest amongst some kindred, but not a lot of details were given to you about it.
It was mentioned to me once upon a time. Those of studious nature have a tendency to uh, review the beliefs of other kinds of people in order to consolidate their conviction in their own. That book or was not one that I ever had the opportunity to peruse, just one that was mentioned in passing as important to some amongst our kin.
Indeed, it should be important to every Canaanite. And Andre leaves a small pause at that, allowing for the distinction in how he referred to their kind. This chronicles the story of the first of our kind and the moment in which his story deviates from the story held so close by the children of Seth. A deviation from a moment in the Bible where one story was left unspoken, for it didn't apply to the children of Seth. There was no reason for them to care about that story, or so they thought. Of course, the story of our kind and the children of Seth are distinctly intertwined. This tells the story of Cain and Abel, but from a perspective that you may not have seen before. Feel free to take a moment, look over the documents, breathe them in, as it were.
Kenny will start reading every word, but without touching them. just kind of leaning over and asking for you to maneuver the pages uh, when
And
necessary.
Andre does have them spread out in a way that they are chronological and set out each individually on the table, so you can move from one to the next.
Hey,
And
what?
so, yeah, it would be for those of you playing the home game, um, essentially the section that I'm showing him. If you happen to have a copy of the Book of Nod, since it was actually put out into publication, um, it's actually the story of the first time. So it starts on like page 11, I think, of the Book of Nod, and then the following 6 pages there. I think. No, 20, page 20 of the Book of Nod, for those playing the home game. Because I won't make us go through the whole spiel, because it is 6 pages worth of text there. Um, but yeah, it tells the story of the story of Cain and Abel from the perspective of the Cainites, and so that the interpretation of the curse that is levied by God at that time is taken a different route and begins to set up a story for the further Book of Nod and Cain's journey in the land of Nod, as the children of Seth continued on their own path, which is depicted in the Bible. Again, like I said, he doesn't have a genuine article. The pages are incredibly old, so it is definitely taken from a very old version of the Book of Nod, but certainly not the first.
I'm assuming you have translations.
I have translations, yes.
Yeah.
I do not have translations laid out, so it would be whether or not. More than likely, I would assume that the text is probably actually in Arabic.
What can you read, Kenny?
I not Arabic.
Okay. So I maybe you have some of your translations with you.
He would just ask, Mr. Andre. I'm afraid I can recognize that as Arabic, but I can't really read it as such.
That's no worries for this moment in time. Our kind, we have all of eternity to work things out, and I didn't want to overwhelm you in our first foray into these discussions. I simply wanted to let you know that, much like the book you hold so dear in regards to your own faith, this is a book that you can also take comfort in knowing as being from those times. I have translations. In fact, I've taken many years compiling my own, I believe to be, full translation. This is from multiple sources, much as with the Bible. You are aware that it has been retranslated and reinterpreted time and again throughout the ages. And I suspect the same of this text as well. So while I cannot claim that my translations are an entirely valid interpretation of the original texts, I suspect, much like any version of the Bible, that they at least generally hold up to scrutiny.
In a manner of speaking, the full picture of any picture is better than any fragment. Yes?
Absolutely. As blurry as that might be.
It would be at about this time that the rest of the coterie, aside from Sora, would probably have entered the house, and you would be definitely hear
The
them
moment
enter.
I hear the door open, I slide the documents back together and slide them into the envelope.
Um, we'll come back to the full coterie at the moment. Sora, this is a storyteller question for your character there.
Mm-hmm.
In order, is your intention to spend some of your XP on learning potence or celerity?
Yep, that is correct.
All right. So, which would you be intending to learn on this particular evening? Or do you have enough XP saved up to get both today?
No, I can't get both.
Okay.
Because there's 7 points. There's 7 points a pop.
Yeah.
I have to wait until end of this month to get the
Okay.
second one. So I think I'll go with potence first.
All right. So you arrive at Camille's place, and she does take you through a number of different exercises in order to teach you how it works, and she does explain to you how it works, but you know how it works, that you have to take some of her blood in order to feel the power surge through you. And she sort of explains the drive and the fire of a Bruja inside their veins, and how you can imagine what you think of her strength and her power at that time, and sort of tap into that force, and you feel this extra strength and vitality surge through you. And she leads you through a few training exercises for a couple of hours with this newfound ability. Which potence ability are you taking for potence 1?
Soaring leap, so I can be able to get out of dodge. But also at the same time, she is also, well, to her is probably normal, but this is the only time where when he knows that they're by themselves, where he would take off all of his hood. And normally what would happen is he would take off his hood, which would have a bandana, has a do-rag on top of that. He'll unwrap the bandana, the do-rag, unwrap the bandana, and then untape the tape to finally let that third eye on his forehead finally be able to display. He's like, feels good to have all of that unwrapped. Okay, let's go. And he's able to just feel free and just like open with his mama, as he literally probably get his butt kicked.
Yeah, I mean, you do it, but you know that she isn't going easy on you by any means, but she isn't, she isn't out for blood. She's out to train you how to use some of the abilities that she can instill in you. And after the training session, she does sit down next to you and she says, "You did very well today."
Thank you. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
Well, it's not something we can do all the time, but you're learning to stand on your own, and you have these companions with you who can help you on your journey. I hope one day you'll be able to trust them more.
Who do you think is trustworthy?
I don't spend a lot of time with your coterie. You're going to have to judge that for yourself, Sora.
That's true. Well, maybe. I don't know. It just. Well, you know how it is. You know, like what my sire talked about. So I've always been trying to keep it under wraps. But and they did save me, so I kind of thought about that afterwards. Like, since they really helped me out, maybe I could show.
Take your time and make your decisions, but trust is not an easy thing for our kind at the best of times, but sometimes it can bind us in interesting ways. Now, I have a few other things to take care of this evening, so you
Okay.
should get on home.
Thanks again. Hopefully we don't run into any more werewolves anytime soon. And then I got my metal door coming along the way. Elijah and Sakura won't know what handle when they open up the door to see this big old chase door right there. They're like, surprise!
That's a very good idea. Oh wait, wait.
Yeah. Hey, let's go Lagatha. And then they'll make their way out the door.
All right, and through the magic of editing, you have all arrived. And
Oh, he would have had his stuff back on though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I assumed so much.
Yeah.
Through the magic of editing, you're all in the same place. In one of the living rooms downstairs, Ricky has escalated to. He got tired of having a sea battle, so you can see that he has got an Imperial class destroyer in space, and he is little TIE fighters are zooming around, and he has some of the X-wings that are shooting each other.
Elijah's just watching, proudly waiting for people to show up.
Elijah's parked himself in one of the chairs. He's got his tablet in his lap and he's sketching. He goes, "You need a dragon."
There weren't any dragons in Star Wars, Mr. Elijah.
You always need a dragon, kid.
And you see a dragon starts flying around in space.
Make it a mechanical dragon. I don't know.
You're
Elijah's
thinking of
totally...
Godzilla.
Elijah's totally sketching like this little battle.
All of you have arrived to this scene.
Just so that you all are aware, we got some meeting tomorrow.
What kind of meeting?
Wiz?
Please don't tell me it's here.
Elijah, that guy you don't really like very much, and that's not too specific.
I can narrow that down to at least 150 people.
Nah, we haven't met him yet before. It's someone that one of my contacts is an acquaintance with who will be coming to our coterie house tomorrow evening.
Bumping that list up to 200. I'm pulling your chain, Kenny. It's fine.
You're pulling on a what?
I'm pulling your chain.
Oh.
Do you want he repeats the sentence in Russian?
Don't do that. It sounds weird.
I can say it in German too. Which one do you want?
No, I'm saying don't pull on my chain. It sounds strange.
See you. You're younger than I am.
Yep.
How do you not know what that means? Oh my heavens.
I think I'm aware of what it means. I just don't know that I like the sound of it.
Okay. I'm messing with you. Better?
I understand that.
Okay, is that a better way to phrase things?
Miss Sakura, is this a good time to say okay, boomer? I'm still not entirely sure how that one.
100%. 100%. She's just clapping to it.
I'm the boomer, and I want dragons in Star Wars. Times are changing, I suppose.
Sakura high five, Ricky.
Too sober for this.
I'm still not sure what it means. I've seen it on a lot of the tweets, but I'm trying to figure out how. I'll keep playing.
No, that was good. That was very good.
He just uncaps like the bottle of whiskey and just drinks it straight from the bottle at this point. And he's like, I'm not. It's always fun to talk to you, Kenny.
Likewise.
Speaking of meetings, I am in the process of arranging one myself. Andre, we have a phone call to make if you have a moment.
Storyteller.
Yes.
I was aware of some of the details of this individual, right? Did I know that it was one of the
So
was it a person of Clan Tremere and I knew that, or was that the player made an assumption?
you know that it's an associate of Jezebel's, and Jezebel is of Clan Tremere, and
Okay.
Jezebel wants to go through more official channels, so she approached your Mola as they are, more Camarilla based, etc. So they wanted to go through the official channels instead of usually going through. Usually Jezebel would just go through Annette, and Annette would get hold of Elijah, but uh, it seems like Jezebel's trying to do things to not get, her head chopped off by by this new prince.
So he would explain. Do make your call, but just so you know, it's an associate of Miss Jezebel.
Oh, um, by the way, uh, so I talked with my Malwa. I was. Did you all know that I was out of my room?
Of course we knew, Sora. You tripped off the trap that we have that alerts us.
Wait, there's a trap. Wait, what?
Yeah, I
Completely.
went in to say hi and you weren't there, so.
Oh, so yeah, I wanted to train after the werewolf incident. Um, cause I do. For what I want to say, thank you all for helping me. Cause uh, that was scary. Uh, and my mama said she's going to help train me. So therefore, I won't hold you all back and get you all in trouble, like last time. So thank you, and I'm sorry I was slow, but I will do much better next time. Hopefully, now that I can leap really far. Uh, so yeah. And also, she says I should trust you all, so I'm gonna trust you all. So, uh, I'm, I'm, I'm a little different. Uh,
Different
so
how?
don't.
I mean, you're a little weird.
Well,
We're
yeah,
all
I
a
mean,
little weird.
I stay in my room all the time. But okay. So, if I tell you all this, you have to promise to keep it a secret. You can't tell anyone.
At the mention of secret, I'm gonna sense the unseen.
All right, go ahead. Hold on. I was muted. Go ahead and roll it. Two. You notice that next to Sora, kind of almost seated on a non-existent chair, is your ghostly house guest, and she's just kind of looking interestedly at Sora.
Just give her a little wave, but she's not who I was looking for, so I'm good.
She seems fairly calm, very interested, and almost as if you notice that like her clothes look just a little bit cleaner than they usually. But Lizelle is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, that is who I was looking for.
Yeah.
Well, I don't make a habit of telling people secrets, and if I were to, it would likely to be to one of the people in this room. So
But everyone promises, right? They're not going to tell anyone.
I promise.
All right. I think that was everyone. Did everyone? You look to Andre. Did Andre nod? What did Andre do?
He's standing there stoically.
He looks to Andre like, Andre, you promise?
I could if it would make you feel better.
Yes. Please. Pretty please.
Of course, I promise.
Okay. And then from there, he kind of like takes off his hood. He's like, you guys probably wonder why I'm always wearing like hoodies and stuff like this. And so there's a specific reason why, because I'm kind of different. And he takes off his hood. Then he unwraps his bandana. And then after he unwraps his bandana, unwraps his do-rag, there's a bandana, which he unwraps the bandana. From the bandana, there's actually like tape and almost looks like large bandage that covers up his entire forehead. And
Elijah's purposely leaning his chair back.
and as he slowly unwraps the bandage, you see a eye that's closed slowly starts to open up, and then starts to look at everyone. It's like his other. No, actually, no. This eye I would say is probably purple, which is a drastic contrast from the gold eyes that he has underneath. But it still focuses in the same distance. He says, "So, um, I'm not really kind of I'm different. I'm what they're called a salubri."
Sora.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that in my understanding of things, you're not supposed to exist anymore?
He nods. That's why I keep it a secret, cause I I am normally hunted. So I go around and say I killed him. But
A
so
caitiff you are.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
I'm gonna lean over to Ricky and go, Ricky, do you know what this means?
I just think it's kind of like unfair that he has 3 eyes and I like have none.
That's your takeaway, because I don't know what's going on either.
so as you can see, I have to keep it protected and wrapped up because if somebody will see it, they will notice, and that could be problematic. Um, but yeah, and also you got to keep it from all secrets, especially Tremere. We have to keep me away from any sort of Tremere because it would be I wouldn't exist properly anymore.
As Andre mentioned, Sora, you are the favorite caitiff that we have ever met.
Yay! Okay. Thank you.
However,
So
I recommend that when we have our meeting with Jezebel or Jezebel's associates, I believe you should sit that one out, Sora.
okay, I can stay home.
The usurpers have many means of seeing through even the best of deceptions.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, I will stay at home. This is also why I ask if you all were injured, because if you all are injured, I can kind of help your wounds. So if you ever feel sick or hurt, just let me know and I can help with that.
Andre will go ahead and walk over to Sora and just place a hand on his shoulder, and your secret is safe with me.
Thank you. Um, and then he kind of feels
For
weird because he's like, "What?"
perhaps tomorrow evening, it might be a good idea for you to take a walk with Ricky, perhaps.
Okay, Ricky, you ready to go take a walk tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for my Pokemon.
I don't think we're supposed to play outside, though, Mr. Sora.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we can't play outside. Well, we could go someplace. I'll take you in my Toyota Prius and we could go somewhere. So thank you. It feels, wow. It feels good. I, as you can imagine, he kind of like grabs his bed. And he was like, yeah, I watch this all the time, but having to wear this constantly, every day, every moment is, it's kind of suck. But it feels good now. I don't have to hide this. Well, at least you all know. It feels good. But thank you again.
I'm not gonna lie, Sora, the only part of that I understood was heal, but yeah, you should stay. Because I don't know what any of that meant.
Oh, so okay, so
Mm,
I
I, I'm thinking that we should perhaps not discuss this.
At
don't
least
tell
not
her.
at this time. It's a long and complicated story, Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't. No offense, but I don't particularly care. I'm glad you shared. I love that you shared, but it doesn't really seem like it. That's really an important thing to know at the moment.
Okay.
It is
It's
good that he trusts us, though.
Yeah,
and
that.
important to know.
Yeah. So just keep me away from Ultramere. We should be good.
Now about this phone call, Sakura.
Yeah. I set up. Well, I didn't set up. I have the number of Money Eye's assistant.
Very good. And what have we discovered about their background?
The assistant or Money
Money Eyes.
Eyes? Storyteller. I have forgotten the name.
Finn Aegis.
Okay. His name is Finn Aegis, and he does a bunch of green electric stuff. He's a big businessman, and the newest location is right here in New Orleans.
Splendid. Go ahead and make the call.
Okay. I figured this might be a best collaboration call, as I'm not super sure of what we're trying to do.
We're arranging a meeting about a potential partnership in biogenetics that can be used for green applications.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this to you because I don't know what those words mean. So
Yeah, I'm with Sakura. I think the venture should take this one.
I do the internet. I found the name and the number, and I got the number. I don't know what those words were, so here's the number.
Go ahead and plug it into the phone and make the call.
All right. It rings for a bit, and you hear a voice at the other end of the line. Eden Tech Enterprises. How may I help you?
Good evening. My name's Andre Bassett. I work at the Tulane University in the Applied Genetics Department. I'm reaching out because we have a potential collaboration that we would be interested in discussing with your company.
I see. Which department specifically were you interested in coordinating with?
Quick cover the phone. What's his department? I'll ask
I think he
Soccer.
runs it. I think he's like the head guy.
What was his last name again?
Aegis.
Aegis. If you could get a meeting on the books with myself and Mr. Aegis, that would be most obliged.
We should be able to set something up. Let me just check his calendar quick. Potentially
Evening
next.
best.
Understood. Potentially next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Would that suit you?
Perfect.
We have if you have a email address, I can send that through confirmation to you, and make sure you have the address of the facility.
He'll give his university email.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, Mr. Bissett. We look forward to your meeting.
As do I. Click.
All right. And I believe that is probably a good time to go ahead and call it for this evening. So, thank you all very much for joining Blood on the Bayou, Chapter 4. We had a wonderful interlude with some werewolves, and that was pretty great. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of the meeting next time round, and all the other shenanigans which are going to ensue. Thank you so much to my players, and thank you so much to all of our followers. And if you happen to like what you're watching, please give us a follow and subscribe on YouTube. Everything helps out. And for the month of May, we're having a little bit of a competition. If you're interested in getting your name as an NPC in one of our shows, you can simply like and retweet one of our shows from YouTube, and retweet it with the hashtag Blood on the Bayou VTM. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Mother's Day again, and goodbye.